Welcome, everyone. Today, we're going to explore some of the most valuable coins in U.S. history, the top 4 Jefferson and Buffalo nickels from the United States of America. In this video, we'll uncover their market values, fascinating era coins, and the specific conditions that make them so rare and desirable, including silver varieties and unique color shades that have become major highlights in the coin collector and investor world. These rare treasures are not just pieces of American history, but also some of the most valuable coins that collectors are hunting for today. So if you're a coin enthusiast or someone who appreciates the beauty and significance of American currency, this video is definitely for you. Moneybag, let's get started with our first rare and valuable coin. The 1923 Buffalo nickel stands as a glittering monument in the grand saga of American coinage, an artifact born in an era when the United States was rising from the echoes of World War I and marching toward modern prosperity. It is not just a 5-cent piece. It is a fragment of American identity, sculpted in metal, infused with artistry, and wrapped in mystery. Struck at the Denver Mint in 1923, this coin has transcended its humble denomination to become one of the most desired, most talked about, and most valuable pieces of numismatic history. If you hold a 1923 Buffalo nickel, especially one that gleams with silvery sheen, you're holding not just currency, but an empire of possibility. To understand its power, one must first step back to the early 1900s, when the American Mint sought to refresh the nation's coinage. Sculptor James Earl Fraser, a student of the legendary Augustus St. Gaudens, was chosen to design a new 5-cent piece that would capture the essence of the American frontier. The result, introduced in 1913, was the Buffalo nickel, a design that broke tradition and celebrated the rugged spirit of a nation. On one side stood a composite portrait of a Native American chief, noble and proud, while the reverse depicted an American bison, strong and enduring. It was a coin that told a story in metal, a story of identity, endurance, and the meeting of cultures. By the time the 1923 Buffalo nickel rolled off the minting presses in Denver, the coin had already captured America's imagination. Yet, this particular year and mint mark combination would prove to be exceptional. Denver, known for its smaller minting volumes compared to Philadelphia, produced fewer coins, making the 1923 DA naturally scarcer issue. But beyond scarcity lies mystique, because many believe that a select number of these coins were struck with an unusual metal mixture, possibly incorporating silver, either from leftover planchets or experimental compositions. Such coins, if real, are among the rarest treasures in all of U.S. numismatics. When you hold a 1923 Buffalo nickel, you can feel its age and aura. The coin carries the character of its era, the Roaring Twenties, a time of jazz, ambition, and transformation. America was flexing its industrial power. Cities were glowing with new electricity. And yet, the Buffalo nickel reminded everyone of the wild past, the prairies, the buffalo herds, and the tribes who once ruled the open plains. Each 1923 coin serves as a bridge between two worlds, the untamed spirit of the frontier and the forward-looking optimism of a modern nation. Collectors today marvel at the coin's unique texture and artistry. The Denver Mint strikes often show sharper detail, giving life to every line of the Native American's hair and every contour of the buffalo's fur. Some specimens even have a reflective, silvery hue, as if time itself polished them to perfection. If one such coin was indeed struck on a silver planchet, its intrinsic worth soars beyond imagination. A silver-based Buffalo nickel from 1923, could easily command a fortune in today's market, its rarity magnified by the sheer beauty of its craftsmanship. What makes the 1923 Buffalo nickel especially intriguing is its survival story. Many coins from this year were heavily circulated, worn down by decades of use in shops, trains, and taverns. Finding one in pristine, uncirculated condition is like discovering a forgotten diamond in the dust. The few that remain crisp and bright are miracles of preservation, carrying a value that no ordinary currency could rival. Some numismatists even whisper that the perfect 1923 could be a coin worth hundreds of thousands, if not millions, depending on its composition and condition. But beyond its price, the coin's emotional value is immeasurable. Each 1923, the Buffalo nickel tells a story of hands that held it: farmers, soldiers, dreamers, and merchants. It was passed through generations, surviving recessions, wars, and revolutions. It is a silent witness to nearly a century of American history, a coin that saw the world change yet never lost its place as a symbol of endurance. Its value is more than metal. Its meaning, legacy, and beauty combine into a timeless masterpiece. The artistry of James Earl Fraser shines most vividly in this coin. The Native American portrait was said to be a composite of three chiefs: Iron Tail, Two Moons, and Big Tree, each representing the deep dignity of a people whose culture had shaped the very soul of the land. The buffalo, modeled after Black Diamond, a bison at the Bronx Zoo, embodied the strength and resilience of nature itself. In 1923, that image resonated deeply in a country learning to balance progress with preservation. Over the years, the buffalo nickel design became an icon, reappearing on modern silver and gold commemoratives, proving its enduring appeal. Yet, no reproduction can match the raw spirit of an original 1923D. Its imperfections, its faint mint mark, its patina, all these things speak of authenticity. They whisper stories that no new minting can replicate. If a collector today holds one in perfect condition, especially with hints of silver tone, it becomes not just a collectible but a legend, a coin capable of changing fortunes overnight. In the bustling coin markets of today, tales abound of the 1923, the buffalo nickel fetching unimaginable sums. Its allure is not only its scarcity but its unpredictability, because each coin carries its own unique charm, strike, and luster. Some shine with a ghostly brilliance that defies explanation, as though the spirit of America itself glows from within. Such coins ignite bidding wars among collectors, their prices climbing higher with every whispered rumor of silver content or hidden variation. And yet, the true magic of this coin is not just in its material worth, but in the dream it represents. The 1923, the Buffalo Nickel, symbolizes a journey from struggle to success, from the dust of plains to the vaults of fortune. It reminds us that sometimes treasures are hiding in plain sight, in old drawers, jars of change, or family keepsakes. If you hold one, guard it well. It is not merely a 5-cent piece. It is a piece of destiny. So remember this. The 1923D Buffalo Nickel is more than just a coin. It's an inheritance of spirit, an artifact of artistry, and a vessel of untold fortune. It holds the power to change lives, just as it tells the story of a nation that changed the world. If ever there was a coin that could make you a billionaire overnight, this is the one. It glows not just with silver, but with history itself, etched into every curve, every mark, every memory that next up. The 1924 the Buffalo Nickel is one of those rare numismatic marvels that captures both the heart and imagination of collectors across generations. It isn't simply a coin, it's a relic of American ambition, artistry, and endurance. Minted during a period of great change in the United States, it reflects the nation's identity, forged through struggle and expansion. When one gazes upon its weathered yet proud face, the 1924 details stories of history, resilience, and power. For many, this small 5-cent piece represents a doorway to wealth beyond measure, its silver-like luster, scarcity, and legend combining to make it one of the most desirable coins in all of U.S. coinage history. To understand the true magic of the 1924, the Buffalo Nickel, one must begin with its origins. Designed by the brilliant sculptor James Earl Fraser, this coin was more than money. It was art in motion. Fraser sought to capture the essence of America's untamed spirit, choosing two iconic symbols, the Native American and the American bison. The obverse features a noble Native American chief, his face strong and proud, symbolizing the first Americans who had lived in harmony with the land long before the industrial age. On the reverse, the mighty buffalo stands firm, representing strength, endurance, and the wild landscapes that had shaped the American soul. The Denver Mint, with a 1924, the Buffalo Nickel was struck, was already known for producing coins of lower mintage compared to Philadelphia or San Francisco. This scarcity has always made the D-Mark coins from the 1920s especially prized among collectors. But the 1924 D takes that rarity to another level. Not only was its mintage relatively limited, but its quality was also inconsistent. Many were struck weakly, and even fewer survived the test of time in good condition. This makes a sharp, well-preserved 1924, the Buffalo Nickel, a truly elite find. And in today's market, its value can skyrocket beyond comprehension. Adding even more intrigue to this coin story is the whispered legend that some of these pieces were struck on planchets with traces of silver or experimental alloys. During the early 20th century, minting inconsistencies were not uncommon, and if a small batch of silver-infused nickels was produced in Denver, their existence would elevate their worth beyond belief. Imagine owning a coin that gleams faintly with the sheen of silver, a 5-cent piece that was never meant to exist. Such a coin isn't merely a collector's item. It's a miracle of metallurgy and history combined. Every mark and line on the 1924, the Buffalo Nickel tells a tale of America's journey. It emerged during the heart of the Roaring '20s, a decade alive with jazz, invention, and optimism. Yet beneath that prosperity, the country still carried memories of its frontier roots. The Buffalo Nickel served as a reminder of that wild past, a symbol where America had come from and what it had overcome. It circulated to the hands of farmers, soldiers, miners, and dreamers, each exchange adding invisible fingerprints of history. Today, collectors regard the 1924, the Buffalo Nickel, with almost mythical reverence. A coin in perfect mint state condition can command tens or even hundreds of thousands of dollars at auction. But for those rare specimens rumored to possess traces of silver or unusual luster, the price could soar into millions. The reason is not only their rarity, but their story, a combination of artistry, accident, and allure. To own one is to hold a piece of America's heartbeat, a bridge between past and prosperity. The coin's artistry itself is mesmerizing. The deep relief of the Native American's profile, the intricate texture of the bison's fur, the faint D-mint mark tucked beneath the denomination. All these details make the 1924 a masterpiece of design. In higher grades, the coin seems almost alive, glowing with silvery brilliance that defies its copper-nickel origin. This is why collectors speak of it as if it possesses a spirit, a silent force that connects a holder to the raw essence of America's wilderness and heritage. Many numismatists consider the 1924 one of the most difficult Buffalo nickels to find in clean, sharp detail. The Denver Mint's dies often wore down quickly, resulting in soft strikes. This means that even among surviving examples, very few display full horn details on the buffalo or crisp facial features on the Native American. Those that do are treasures beyond words, embodying perfection in an imperfect world. Their survival is a testament to luck, preservation, and destiny itself. But what truly makes this coin legendary is its potential for transformation, both literal and metaphorical. If you possess a 1924, the Buffalo Nickel, especially one with a silvery tint or mirror-like surface, it might not just be a coin, it might be your fortune waiting to unfold. Many have called it a billionaire's coin, for the simple reason that its rarity, combined with collector demand, makes it capable of changing a life overnight. It's a coin that whispers, "Don't spend me, I am worth more than gold." Holding such a piece, one could almost feel the weight of time pressing through it. The echoes of the minting machines, the hopes of the engraver, the journey of the coin through decades of human history. Perhaps it once rested in a soldier's pocket during World War II, or in the cash register of a 1920s general store. Each scratch and tone on its surface carries mystery, emotion, and story. The 1924, the Buffalo Nickel, isn't just a coin, it's a time traveler. In modern times, as collectors scour the world for rare coins, the 1924, D stands as one of the holy grails. Its value continues to climb as fewer untouched examples remain. Every year, the legend grows, and so does the coin's mythical status. Experts know that one perfect 1924, D could command enough to buy and estate a collection or even set one up for life. Its worth is measured not just in metal, but in history, rarity, and beauty. In the end, the 1924 D Buffalo Nickel represents something greater than wealth. It represents destiny, a symbol of America's rugged past and its relentless drive toward the future. For those lucky enough to hold one, it is a reminder that greatness often hides in plain sight, disguised as something ordinary. It's a coin that gleams not just with silver, but with spirit, the spirit of a nation of artistry and of dreams that refuse to fade. If you own one, guard it well. It may just be the coin that turns your fortune overnight. Next up, the 1943 P. Jefferson Nickel is one of those rare treasures in American coinage that transcends a boundary between money and legend. It is not just a coin. It is a piece of wartime history, a symbol of resilience, and a relic of ingenuity forged during one of the most turbulent times in modern history. This coin, with its subtle shine and its powerful past, stands as a silent witness to an era when every ounce of metal carried the weight of national survival. And for collectors today, the 1943 P. nickel is more than a curiosity. It is a potential fortune waiting to be discovered, a small round key that could open the doors of unimaginable wealth. The story begins in the heart of World War II, when the United States government faced a critical shortage of nickel metal. Nickel was essential for producing military armor, weapons, and machinery, resources desperately needed for victory overseas. To conserve this vital metal, the U.S. Mint made a bold decision. Between 1942 and 1945, Jefferson nickels would no longer be made of their traditional 75% copper and 25% nickel composition. Instead, they would be struck in a unique wartime alloy of 56% copper, 35% silver, and 9% manganese. Thus, the 1943 P. silver nickel was born, a coin unlike any before or after, shimmering faintly with the luster of its precious metal. The Philadelphia Mint, marked by the now famous P Mint mark above the Monticello dome on the reverse, produced millions of these wartime nickels. But while millions were struck, only a small fraction remain today in pristine, well-preserved condition. Most entered circulation and were spent, scratched, and worn down through decades of use. The few that remain gleaming and untouched are now worth far more than their face value, some commanding prices that would make even seasoned collectors pause in disbelief. The 1943 P. Jefferson Nickel isn't just valuable for its composition. It's valuable for what it represents. It is a coin that embodies American sacrifice and ingenuity. The silver content gives an intrinsic value far greater than its denomination, but its historical significance multiplies that worth tenfold. When one holds a 1943 P in their hand, they are holding a piece of America's wartime heart, a token of courage, unity, and determination. It's as though the spirit of the 1940s lives within its metallic shine, whispering stories of factory workers, soldiers, and citizens who gave everything for freedom. Collectors today hunt tirelessly for these coins, and the 1943 P holds a special allure because of its distinctive mint mark. It was the first time in U.S. history that the Philadelphia Mint placed a mint mark on a coin, and it did so boldly, large and clear, above the iconic Monticello building. This unique design choice makes the 1943 P instantly recognizable, standing apart from other Jefferson nickels. For many numismatists, this one simple P is a mark of pride, a symbol of a turning point in coinage history. Over the decades, tales have circulated of special 1943 P nickels that contain unusually high silver content or rare striking errors. Coins with double dies, off-center minting, or polished surfaces that gleam like mirrors. These error or proof-like coins are the stuff of legend, commanding astronomical prices in today's market. Some collectors have reportedly uncovered 1943 P nickels that shimmer with a rare brilliance, suggesting they might have been test strikes or early production pieces. Such coins, in the right auction, could transform their owners' fortunes overnight. Even more fascinating is how time itself has enhanced the beauty of the 1943 P. Because of its silver composition, many surviving examples have developed a soft, graceful patina, tones of gold, violet, or deep blue that dance across the surface when light strikes it. This natural toning adds character and individuality, turning each coin into a unique work of art. Collectors cherish this aging process, for it adds depth to the story the coin tells. It's as if the metal has absorbed the decades of American history that passed since it was first minted. The wartime nickels, including the 1943 P, also remind us of how the mint adapted under pressure. Faced with shortages and uncertainty, the mint's metallurgists found a way to maintain the nation's currency without compromising integrity. The inclusion of silver not only solved the wartime crisis, but also left behind one of the most collectible series in American coin history. These nickels are the only ones ever made with silver, giving them a distinct place in numismatic lore. Today, as the market for rare coins continues to rise, the 1943 P. Jefferson Nickel stands as both a relic and a gold mine. Its combination of history, rarity, and silver composition makes it highly sought after. Well-preserved examples in high mint state or proof-like condition can fetch thousands, even tens of thousands of dollars. And should you stumble upon one with an unusual error or exceptional strike, you might very well be holding a coin worth more than most people's annual income. The mystique surrounding this coin has only grown with time. It represents not only a chapter of wartime innovation, but also a symbol of what can happen when history, chance, and craftsmanship converge. Every 1943 P nickel that survives today carries the potential to surprise the world, to rewrite someone's destiny. It's a reminder that sometimes the smallest pieces of metal can hold the greatest stories and the greatest fortunes. Those who find one in an old collection, a forgotten jar, or an inherited box should think twice before spending or selling it. This coin isn't merely a piece of pocket change. It's a piece of American legacy, a survivor of an era that reshaped the world. And perhaps, just perhaps, it's also the key to a future of unimaginable prosperity. In the end, the 1943 P. Jefferson Nickel is far more than 5 cents. It's a silvered symbol of endurance, a timeless connection between past and present, and a sleeping treasure that could change your fortune overnight. If you have one, hold it close, study its details, and understand what it truly is, not just money, but history in metal form. Its story is one of sacrifice, brilliance, and the enduring belief that even in times of crisis, beauty and value can emerge, and that sometimes fortune hides in the palm of your hand. Next up, the 1944 P. Jefferson Nickel stands as one of the most powerful symbols of American determination, resilience, and ingenuity during World War II. It is far more than a mere 5-cent piece. It is a living monument to a time when every ounce of metal, every machine, and every hand was dedicated to victory. To hold a 1944 P. Jefferson Nickel is to hold a relic of wartime America, a coin that carries within its silver core the heartbeat of a nation fighting for freedom. It may seem small, but this little coin once helped shape history, and today it has the power to change fortunes overnight. The story of this remarkable nickel begins in the middle of global chaos. The year was 1944, and the United States was in the thick of World War II. The government had already recognized that nickel, a vital material for coinage, was also critical for producing military armor, ships, and weapons. To conserve the strategic metal, the U.S. Mint made a groundbreaking change. Beginning in 1942 and lasting until the war's end, Jefferson nickels were struck not from their traditional copper-nickel blend, but from a unique wartime alloy of 56% copper, 35% silver, and 9% manganese. This change not only gave the coins a distinct grayish shine, but also transformed them into the only nickels in American history to contain silver. The Philadelphia Mint, designated by the bold P Mint mark above the Monticello dome on the reverse, played a pivotal role in producing these wartime nickels. The 1944 P issue was one of the last of its kind before the mint returned to its peacetime composition in 1946. But what sets the 1944 P apart is its purity, precision, and rarity in pristine condition. Millions were struck, yes, but the majority circulated heavily in the years following the war. To find a well-preserved, uncirculated 1944 P nickel today is like finding a time capsule from a moment when the world was at war, but hope still burned bright. When you look closely at the 1944 P. Jefferson Nickel, you notice the craftsmanship that defines mid-century American minting. The obverse bears a dignified profile of Thomas Jefferson, the author of liberty himself, facing left. His features carved with subtle elegance by Felix Schlag, the designer chosen after a national competition in 1938. On the reverse lies Jefferson's beloved home, Monticello, standing strong as a symbol of endurance. The large P mint mark above Monticello tells its own story. It was the first time in American history that the Philadelphia Mint used its initial on circulating coinage. That simple letter represents a historic shift in the identity of American coins. But beneath that metallic surface lies the real treasure, the silver. In today's market, the 1944 P-nickel's silver content alone gives inherent value far beyond its face worth. Yet, it is a historical and collectible worth that turns this coin into a potential gold mine. Collectors prize it for its composition, its historical importance, and its potential for rare minting errors. Some 1944 P-nickels display double-die errors, die cracks, or unusual toning that give them immense additional value. A perfectly struck, fully lustrous coin can command thousands of dollars in auctions. And in rare cases, error versions or coins with exceptional condition have been known to sell for tens of thousands, making them miniature fortunes in the palm of a hand. There's a mysterious beauty to the way silver has aged within the metal. Over the decades, many 1944 P-nickels have developed soft hues, golden yellows, oceanic blues, and stormy violets, that make each coin unique, like a painting crafted by time itself. No two are identical. This natural patina, or toning, adds both aesthetic and market value. Collectors often say that the 1944 P-nickel tells its story through its colors, reflecting the decades that have survived since it was first struck in the midst of war. The Jefferson Nickel series as a whole has long been admired for its artistic detail, but the wartime nickels occupy a special place in American numismatic lore. They were born not out of luxury but necessity, a testament to how the nation adapted under immense pressure. In the war effort, even coins played their part, conserving vital materials while ensuring the economy continued to flow. Each 1944 P-nickel circulated in the hands of soldiers' families, factory workers, and everyday citizens who were part of a nation united under one purpose: victory. Today, the 1944 P. Jefferson Nickel is more than a collector's piece. It is a time traveler. Its silver core glimmers with history, connecting the modern era to the spirit of the 1940s. For those lucky enough to find one in flawless condition, it's not just a coin. It's a potential key to life-changing wealth. There are stories of collectors who stumbled upon a forgotten 1944 P in a jar or an inherited box, only to discover it was worth thousands. It's a reminder that true treasures often hide in plain sight. The allure of this coin extends beyond material wealth. It carries an emotional and patriotic significance that no other nickel can match. It speaks of a time when Americans made sacrifices, from the factories of Detroit to the beaches of Normandy, and even the mint itself contributed to the cause. Owning a 1944 P-nickel is like holding a tangible piece of that shared national courage, a silver link between past and present. What makes this coin story even more captivating is that it bridges art, history, and economics in one perfect circle. It is at once a symbol of wartime innovation, a marvel of minting craftsmanship, and a store of enduring value. Every mark, every glint, every curve of Jefferson's portrait carries meaning, echoing a time when metal was more than metal. It was a message of perseverance. If you happen to have a 1944 P. Jefferson Nickel, don't rush to spend or sell it. Study it, hold it to the light, and let its silver gleam remind you that history is often hidden in the smallest objects. In the right condition, this coin could change your life, not just financially, but through the knowledge that you possess a fragment of America's unbreakable spirit. In truth, the 1944 P-nickel is a story carved in silver, a story of courage, adaptation, and legacy. Its value is not just measured in dollars, but in the depth of history it carries. It may be 5 cents by design, but in the modern world, its worth can rise to unimaginable heights. And for those fortunate enough to uncover one in pristine condition, that small, shining disc could indeed be the coin that turns dreams into reality overnight, a silent fortune born from a nation's determination to prevail. Thank you so much for watching this video.